Hello, chilled video again. I'm liking this on my bed with the natural lights. Works well for when I'm not feeling like although I kind of am feeling but I've trashed that side of my room, so yeah. Kind of want to get a bit more comfy though. I really need to change my bedding. Oops. I've had a very good weekend. I've had a very good weekend. If you've seen my Sitsy vlog, you'll see that I had a good weekend. I got quite emotional when I got back home on Monday because I didn't ever think I'd be able to experience anything like that. First of all, logistically, getting across the country, you know, I do go to London a lot, but it's a different ball game being down there for 5 days without your mum or your sister. It's scary. You know, those are the people in my life that make sure everything's running smoothly, and yeah, to not have that was hard. And I made a video last week saying like how I was fearful of it. And I just wanted to kind of make a response video to that last video, because why not? Because things actually went well. I narrowed it down to my only point of worry being Sunday night. I was scared of being alone and then not having anything to do. So, turns out, I went to the loo, bumped into David, the guy that I'd met, who's friends with Caroline, and then we hung out during the performance. I wasn't alone. Either way, I was filming Pete's performance, so I was occupied anyway, but I had someone there, because I really didn't want to spend the end of Sitsy alone. But the thing is, we were heading all out afterwards anyway. Like, that plan became quite clear from the beginning, so I didn't have to worry about spending the last night of Sitsy completely alone, because that was the biggest worry. And like that's just not a nice thought, is it? To just be alone while everyone else is having fun. But no, we all had a good time in the Novotel, and I got very, very drunk. Speaking of the getting drunk, like I know you saw me getting drunk like a month ago in that Jessie J festival video, and the Summer in the City vlog you see me drinking a lot, and to go out 3 nights in a row, that's just far beyond my comprehension. I think it was adrenaline, because that's just not me. It's not me at all. 3 nights in a row, that's something that's never been a possibility for me. I normally do something sociable and then take 3 days to recover from it. I am taking a long time to recover from Summer in the City, I'll tell you that. However, I've come away with like some social boost of energy. Like I kind of needed to be weaned off it. So the last 2 days I've done things with different friends here because I have liked being around people. Normally I struggle. Every time I'm around people it drains me. You know, even if I love those people, it still drains me because I'm having to be on it with the social skills. I'm having to like really focus and stuff like that in order to be present and be engaging and be someone who's fun to be around. But I did it for multiple days in a row. You know, I struggled during the days. In fact, let's talk about the one point which I struggled. It was to do with the whole hotel debacle. So I wasn't going to go into this much on videos, but let's keep it brief. I had a hotel booked which needed to be cancelled. The cancellation didn't go through properly because I wasn't physically able to make the cancellation, because on the day that the cancellation needed to be made, someone was running around his bedroom crying and screaming. So, the effects of autism, there was medical reasoning behind it. I provided proof, and initially they were saying, nope, we're still going to charge you £386. Put that stress on top of your shoulders. £386 about to be taken from your bank account when you're stranded 200 miles away from your mummy. You know, I've not got the richest family in the world. I've not got people who can just bail me out of situations like that. I didn't have my mum to just fix it for me either, because my mum's incredible with stuff. She'll so I had to be on it, and I was conversing with Liam as to like the things we could do, because you know, I had to think what would my mum do and stuff like that, and you know, and Liam and I formed quite a good plan in the end, because I didn't want to go to sleep on Thursday night with that stress over me, because I wouldn't sleep. But I rang up the hotel again, and they assured me, they were like, look, okay, if you come in first thing in the morning, we'll probably be able to get it sorted, so just imagine that you're all getting it back. I woke up on Friday morning, Liam and I went down to breakfast, and then when I got in the shower, I noticed I had quite a big stress rash across the top of my leg. I'd also not had the most together stomach, let's say, and I also nearly threw up. I took these as signs to think that I was stressed, because I don't notice one, but when you've got 3 shoving at you there, I think it was pretty clear I was stressed. So we go in, and all this stress is really starting to eat at me. Luckily it gets sorted. It gets sorted quite quickly as well, but I didn't have time to adjust to the fact it had been sorted. And just kind of the trauma of it all, lay on for the next couple of hours, and it did affect me. I couldn't actually go into the convention hall for about half an hour after it opened. I just sat outside for ages, and then I went in, saw Jake, met Jake actually, strange. I saw Dan occasionally, I saw Kevin occasionally, so they were familiar faces, but normally I'm used to on Creator Day it being a constant, oh hi Connor, how are you? Oh hi Connor, how are you? But no one was about, and I was struggling with that, and the quiet room wasn't where it should be. So this is the only thing I have against the whole quiet room situation. They must have changed it last minute because it was a better alternative, which of course is incredible. You know, I think it was going to be a repeat of what they had last year. However, this year they had it in a room. I think that must have been quite a last minute thing because it was on the updated maps, but it wasn't in the brochures. So it would have just been nice if there was something online or something to say that that's what happened. Because in my head, it wasn't where it was on the map, therefore it didn't exist. Which I know is stupid, but try telling a stressed autistic person that. You know, I relied on my usual tactic of trying to calm myself down, which is just walk around in circles and hope for the best, because my facial recognition goes in situations like that. I'm not able to look at people and determine who they are and if I know them. So I thought if I keep walking around, someone's going to recognise me. Yeah, I've actually had people who watch my videos tell me that they saw me and saw I looked stressed, which is, I feel bad that that's what I was giving off, because I wouldn't want to appear unapproachable at an event like that. Well, I've told you the rest that happened in the Sitsi vlog, so if you've not watched that, you can find that there. But it all got sorted, we went and found the quiet room, it was all good. And from then on, I kept bumping into people, and yeah, I didn't have any other struggles, really. I did have to wear my earplugs on Sunday morning, but that wasn't so much the fact that I was being autistic, that was the fact that autism plus hangover didn't really work. I haven't had a hangover since the first time I drank, actually, when I was 15. No, to be fair, I was in Germany. It was only 1 year under the age limit there, so... And we were on private property, so I had to use my earplugs for a couple of hours just to adjust to all the sound. But this going out, getting drunk, that's what, like, the typical 21-year-old does. And I know you shouldn't compare yourself to normal people, but, like, as much as I love being me and, like, being the guy that can do all of his Minecraft stuff and can recite Hercules, and it is nice to feel normal occasionally. The thing was, I wasn't even being completely normal when I was drunk. You know, people were still talking to me about Jessie J and Disney and complimenting me on my Minecraft. So it's like, wow, I can be a normal 21-year-old and still have the bits that make me me, and people accept that. Because this is the thing, I know you've seen me get drunk, but I only get drunk when I'm around people I trust. You know, so if you think about on the times I've filmed me being drunk, the first time I was at home with my mum and sister, we'd had a bit of an interesting time at that time in our lives, and we just got drunk, and it was great, and then I filmed a video on it. I can't remember every time I've been drunk on camera, but at my friend Bronwyn's house party, for instance, but that's my friend Bronwyn, who I've known for years, at this festival when I was with James, I would never go out to a bar and get, like, extremely drunk, just because I wouldn't allow myself to, because strangers scare me. And whilst I don't know everybody in the YouTube community, I felt welcome enough. Like, for example, on the Friday, I had people coming up to me who, like, I didn't even realise that we were, like, acquaintances, never mind, you know, people to go up and say hi to. So, like, people who I've watched on YouTube that I've met a few times, I still have it in my mindset that, like, I'm a viewer of theirs, therefore they may not remember me, because I know how it is. I did meet quite a lot of people over this weekend who watch my videos, and it's interesting having that whole scenario because of the divide and stuff like that. But to be there, to be in these bars and stuff, to have 200 people in there, 200 people that are accepting and embracing people, and, like, you know, there are obviously a few people. Well, it wasn't about, let's talk about what YouTube stuff we make. It wasn't at all. You know, like, I imagine there's many people who I met who didn't even work out that I was autistic, which was nice. But and then again, when it did come up with people were just like, oh, that's cool. And it's cool to see mainstream people think that about our world. Yeah, and then to have people there who also, as well as making sure I was alright, also making sure that I was alright alcohol-wise and putting me on water. Jake helped a lot on that, I think, because we all need to look after each other, and that's the thing. I felt even at times that I was looking after people, and it was just it was just a cool social environment that I've never been in and I never thought I'd be a part of, because I struggle with group socialisation. Anybody who knows me knows that I normally meet up with one friend at a time, and that's about as much as I can manage. So and then to be in a social environment with many, many, many people, I think I did alright. And I wish I could tell myself, like, the guy who was like 17 years old who cut himself off from all of his friends because he thought he was a social hazard, I wish I could just tell him and just be like, look, it's fine. Or 18, I think I was 18. So I could go on and on, but I did things I didn't think I'd be able to do. One thing I'd really recommend doing for anyone who's on the spectrum considering going, put more money into the situation. Allocate yourself some money to be independent. So by that, I mean you need to be able to remove as much stress as possible. So make sure your hotels are fully flexible. Like Premier Inn are a good one. You can cancel up until 1 PM on the day if you book on their flexible rate. That's really useful. Make sure you've got open return train tickets, etc. Just things like that for eliminating as much stress as possible, and that really helped this year because I was able to. We weren't rushing back for a coach or anything like that, and I know what I'm doing for next year. As well, as much as it was cool sharing with Liam, I think I need my own room just in case. And that's the thing, you need to be prepared financially for just in case, because you never know what will happen. Like, I was completely fine this time, but I don't know what will arise like next time. You know, I might need to run into my hotel room and just spend 4 hours lying on the floor with no clothes on. So, you know, it's being prepared for things like that. But ultimately, I'm very proud of myself. I'm very proud of myself, and I can't believe that I'm lucky enough to have been in an environment where people were that willing to help me and were that kind to me. Because yeah, I've got good people in my life, and it was really nice to realise that and to see that in front of me. When it's all online, it's really hard to like quantify it, but then when you've got all these faces in front of you that are just wanting to help you and make sure you're okay, it's so heartwarming. I need to get back to doing worky stuff because I've taken my few days off. I'm here, I'm home now, I'm in my comfy jumper, which I'm loving my comfy jumpers at the moment. This is definitely going to be the Witsy aesthetic if I go to that. I think that would just about do. Leave me comments below of times that you felt that you've really made a milestone in independence, because I really have this weekend. I've proven that I'm able to, and whilst I don't think I'd be able to do it for a long period of time yet, I've proven that I can certainly do it for a short break. Providing I had the right people there. Like, obviously, like I thought I was limited to like James and Lauren and yeah, but it showed that even casual friends who don't see the day-to-day stuff are all cool for like that kind of stuff. So yeah, really nice to see. But yeah, definitely leave me a comment of like a moment where you think you've made massive independence. Let's all celebrate each other. I like, as much as some people like to say on these videos like, oh, I really struggle with this, I don't want any negativity on this video today. Let's just all celebrate something, whether it was something as simple as getting a bus for the first time by yourself, something like that. Just celebrate your independence, please, because we all deserve to celebrate ourselves occasionally. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.